Hello, everyone. You're listening to the First 45 podcast, back after the international break. With me, as always, is our FPL experts, Craig and Darren. How are you guys?
Experts again. Not quite. It's good, though. I love it.
Well,
Gets me.
your game rank's doing all right, so you're getting towards that territory. From an FPL community on Twitter perspective, you know, being in the top 50k definitely makes you an expert.
You're an expert.
How you been then,
You've heard it
Craig?
here. Not bad. Not bad. Built a little indoor bar.
You're gonna tell us about what's happened today then, because it's 20 to 9 on a Wednesday evening here. This is later than we would normally be recording. What's happened today then? Give us a quick synopsis.
Shenanigans, internet down. Things just not going my way. It's been an absolute hoo-ha, to be honest. I've not even sorted out a four-a-side contestant from the community this week, so I think we're going to have to get you to step in this week, Joe.
Joey's going to step in, is he?
We haven't got any other choice, have we? I've dropped the ball. Internet's gone.
Sorry, community in advance.
Yeah, well,
Be bloody
you're still
Max the
beating
dog
me,
next
aren't you?
week,
The old
stepping in.
community's beating me.
How are you, Daz?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm looking forward to the lockdown all ending. Sounds like it's going to be all around Craigie's when we can, because he's built himself an indoor bar with a
I have.
dartboard and new massive telly.
Yeah, TV, dartboard. Yeah, it's outside, indoors, if you know what I mean. Little outhouse we converted into a bar. So yeah, a few beers in there. Got some bar stools. Got a TV. Got a cabinet for all the liqueur. Got the old darts up. Lovely jubbly. So yeah, try and get a poker night in there or two, and watch a bit of the Euros. Hopefully, lovely jubbly.
Sounds good.
Cool. I know it might be going back a little bit of time now, but do you want to give us a quick summary as to how you got on in your last game week before the break?
Yeah, if I can even remember. I don't even remember what I ate last night, let alone what I scored 2 weeks ago. Yeah, let's have a little look. So, 66 points. That was a net of 58 points. I took a -8. I was happy, actually. I took 2 hits. I brought in Veltman and Bale, which I was always going to bring in, right? And I made 4 transfers. 2 free transfers, so yeah, made a -8, and then brought in additionally Lingard and Dunk, because you could argue that it was Bale the extra -8. But I was always going to bring in Bale and Veltman. They were probably my main 2 players that I wanted to bring in. So Lingard and Dunk were technically the -8, so netted 10 points out of that. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Wild card perhaps on the horizon. So yeah, really, really good news. 58 points. That made me jump from 56k to 42k.
Nice, mate.
Nice.
Very nice. Ballsy, -8.
Yeah.
Like that. I did all right as well. 51 points. Small green arrow, 39 to
Nice.
35k. 51 points, no hits. Two free transfers, both pretty good. I brought in Kane as captain and Rafinha in for Salah. Both done pretty well, and had the heroics from my man Voutman for Brighton. So yeah, all in all, I'll take that for the blank game week, one that we were all dreading a little bit, I think.
Yeah, Veltman heroics was decent, wasn't it? That 10-pointer was nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
He'd been knocking on the door for a while. The underlyings were good, weren't they? We've obviously talked about it on the pod a few times with regards to his shot output. I mean, again, it was like 10 shots that he'd had I think it was like the previous 6 game weeks or something like that. He'd had 10 shots, something like that. And no other defender had any more than that. So it was, the writing was on the wall there a little bit.
It's always nice when one of those kind of comes to fruition when all the underlying statistics are pointing to somebody and they end up coming
Comes through.
So, yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And especially when you see in your mini league that others have gone for Dunk and didn't bring in Veltman. Yeah. That was nice. So that's good for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, should we turn our attention to what we got to think about in the weeks ahead? We've got a few topics that we're going to talk about tonight. Perhaps I can get you to comment on this one first, Daz. Turning our attention to Mo Salah. Obviously, international break. I saw he rattled in a load of goals in I think it was a game for Egypt.
Yeah.
But obviously not been doing it recently for Liverpool. What's your plan with him? Have you got him at the moment? Are you thinking about getting rid of him, or are you thinking about bringing him back if you've perhaps taken him out?
Yeah, no, I'm a non-owner. I sold him this week for Rafinha to allow the Kane move. So I don't own Salah at the moment, and he's a player that will always be on my radar no matter what sort of form he's in, and the fixtures after 31 do do turn very nicely for Liverpool. And, with Jota coming back, and I'm sure others, Fabinho moving back into midfield, you have to expect Liverpool to come to some sort of decent form, really, with the team they've got. So I think game week 31, when I play my wild card, he's definitely a player I'm going to be at least considering. I won't be owning him for this game week, so we'll be keeping a close eye on him.
What about you, Craigo? You a non-owner as well now?
Non-owner, yeah, absolutely. I am. Brought in Bale, unfortunately, for him, who did nothing, obviously, in the blank game week, didn't even get any minutes, so that wasn't ideal. With Salah's form currently, 4 goals, no assists in his last 15 games. Obviously, that's terrible, really poor. They'll be down there with some of the worst statistics across the game, and it's hard to want to bring him back in, obviously. But with his run of games and him being Salah, and as Daz mentions, you expect Liverpool to turn it around a little bit. You've had a bit of a break now, a few returning players that are key to the team. And the run of fixtures from 31 to 38, we see Villa, Leeds, Newcastle, Southampton, Burnley, West Bromwich Albion, Burnley. I said Burnley twice. That's how shit they are. Palace. But yeah, it looks, for me, that's like, you've got to attack that. And I'll be looking at him. I'll be looking at him for sure. Saw that he scored a brace, as you mentioned, against Comoros, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ooh. Yeah, they're a very tiny nation. Similar population to Cyprus, so not really a mean feat there. Getting the goals is getting the goals, right? Getting the goals against anyone. It's nice to see that he's obviously on the score sheet. You'd be a bit concerned if he couldn't score against that tiny island, on the international break. So yeah, it's good to see.
Should we turn our attention to chips as well? Obviously, people have probably been eyeing up game week 31 historically, but we've now got double game weeks coming in the future and some rearranged fixtures as well. What are you thinking about with your remaining chips, and perhaps if, for the rest of the FPL community, if there are other chips in play, have you got any thoughts about how they might deploy those in the coming game weeks?
Yeah, so wildcard for me in 31 is still the plan, if I'm honest. I don't see any other plan for the wildcard in terms of holding on to it a little bit longer. Perhaps what might have changed is this announcement of the double game week in 32 for Spurs. So that'll get me thinking for sure. If I'm playing the wildcard in 31, I might have to keep hold of more Spurs assets than perhaps I would have done. I would have likely have just had Kane, but I don't think it's very wise to play the wild card and not have at least 2 Spurs assets. So that will be something I'll have to give us a food for thought on. We need to obviously see what's going on with Sonny. Son and Kane would be the apparent double up, and I'd imagine most people will be on that with the double. But I also quite like the look of Reguilon as well for the wild card. And in terms of the other teams that I'll be looking to target with the wild card in 31, I'm looking to target Aston Villa, Everton, Spurs, obviously for the doubles. Aston Villa and Everton still got theirs to be announced. And then as well as teams that have just been scoring freely, Man United, Man City, gonna put some assets in there, probably have 4 players, maybe 5 from those 2 clubs. And then the good fixtures, Liverpool, Fulham, Chelsea, they're the main 3 teams with the really decent fixtures from 31 onwards. That'll probably give me 13 plus players. So that's where I'm looking at in terms of that particular chip. And then I'll use my free hit. I still have it. It does actually give me now the capability to go quite heavy on Spurs, because I can obviously have 3 Spurs now, and I'm naturally going to have 3 City. There's no way I'm not going to have 3 City. I just haven't decided what I want to do. Do I want 2 defenders and De Bruyne, 2 defenders and Gundogan? Do I want Gundogan and De Bruyne and then 1 defender? And that perhaps I'm leaning to the latter strategy there. And that will mean that, of course, I've got my free hit, with City blanking, Spurs blanking in game week 33, that gives me the opportunity there to kind of really load up. So, 3 Spurs, 3 City, and then maybe even, where I referenced Fulham having good fixtures, might have a Fulham asset in there as well. So, the 3 City, the 3 Spurs, the 1 Fulham, they're not going to be a goalkeeper. So that's 7 outfield players, right? Only 3 bench spots. So, that free hit chip actually looks quite decent for me now, 33.
Yeah, it really does. I think having that free hit still available is a real luxury with the scheduling now as we see it, with the blank in 33, right after the double in 32. I think that's going to be really nice advantage for you guys still holding the free hit. As I say, I don't have that luxury myself, but I'm still planning on wildcard in 31. That was always the plan with the fixture swing there. But I'm probably going to have to be a little bit more careful with not to go too heavy with the Spurs guys. I'm probably looking at almost certainly Kane for the captaincy in 32. I think that's almost a must, and possibly Son as well for that double. But I think the triple up might be a bit too much in my position. And then looking at it in advance, the swap from Son to Grealish in 33 looks quite nice as well, I think. But yeah, just touching on what Joe said about those in the community with other chips still available, I think that 32 double for Spurs is looking really good for a triple captain if you still got it for Harry Kane. I think that's looking like a good shout there. Home to Southampton in there, right? Yeah. Is that correct? Saints in there?
That's correct, yeah. Everton away, Southampton at home. Looks pretty enticing for Kane.
Out of the Europa now as well, so all the attention will be on the Premier League.
Yeah, especially with Saints looking at FA Cup semi-finals as well. They're probably not going to be too focused on many Premier League fixtures that aren't, winnable.
Agreed.
Easily. So let's turn our attention to Chelsea, who is a team I can remember on the first couple of podcasts that we did. Obviously, Frank Lampard was in charge at the time when we started this podcast originally, and then Thomas Tuchel's come in. And at first, we were perhaps a little bit coy about picking Chelsea assets, and obviously there was a lot of rotation, but now they're looking like a real force. And their upcoming games, they've got West Brom, Crystal Palace, Brighton, West Ham United, and Fulham in the next 5. Perhaps you can give us your thoughts, Darren, to begin with, on what you're thinking with Chelsea assets now and what you're going to be looking to be doing with them.
I think probably actually from an attacking point of view, we're still not a lot's changed in terms of we're still quite coy on their options going forward. Werner is a player I'd love to take a gamble on, and you know what, I might yet do that with the fixtures they've got there. Lovely fixtures coming up from now actually, and with my season kind of fizzling out a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I've still got a decent rank, but not quite hitting the heights that I was earlier in the season. Just maybe throwing Werner in just to spice things up a bit is something I'm definitely interested in. But I think the priority for anybody is more likely to be in defence, and Mendy's probably a cert for me for the goalkeeper position after wildcard. And Rudiger, as we've talked about on other pods, I think he's still 4.7. Looks like he's nailed on in that defence, which is really solid under the new manager. So yeah, a lot of options, I think.
Yeah, agree with that. Yeah, agree with that completely. Love the Werner shout from Daz. I was on him at the beginning of the season. Massive fan of Werner's. Really like his style of play. Felt like it would just, all fall into place for him at Chelsea. And to be honest, I kind of feel like it has, but it's just not really got the rub of the green. Like there's been some chances, where he's just kind of skewed them or whatever. But I don't know, it's just kind of like, it feels like he could have perhaps had 3 or 4 goals if he just had a bit more luck. I've got it in my my memory bank here of the one where he just completely cleared it off the line almost. Do you remember that? I don't know who it was against. Can't remember now, but yeah, he basically cleared it off the line. It was harder to clear it off the actual goal line, I think, than to actually score it. And then, that goal against Liverpool that was ruled out for offside, which was off of, again, a toenail again. It's just it's unfortunate. He took that so well, and that would have just done the world of good for his confidence. Playing against the champions, breaking away as he did, and then kind of like getting around the keeper and sort of like, it was a dink, wasn't it? He dinked Alisson. Is that right? He just broke the line, didn't he? And he dinked it over the top of him, I think. But yeah,
disallowed, right?
Or he got round him. Yeah, the disallowed goal. So I just think Werner is an explosion waiting to happen. So, I like that, Daz. I'm definitely going to be considering him. And outside of that, as Darren says, Mendy's an absolute cert for me. I think I'm going to move that way. Probably move away from Martinez and bring him in because they just seem so assured at the back right now. And I think the double up's wise. So, Rudiger with his price is another one to consider. Even when you look across the board there, Christensen's been getting a bit more time, but he's the same price as Rudiger, who is absolutely nailed. So there's no way we're going to be going there. Your Azpils, your Alonso's are kind of a bit more of the glory picks, maybe, a bit higher priced. Touching on the sort of 6 million mark for both of them. Maybe one that you might stab in for a little bit and then maybe remove, but only if you've got some funds. And I also like Ziyech as well. I think he's going to do very well at the end of the season. Some of the balls that he was whipping in the last couple of games that he has played have been brilliant. Those left-footed wand of a ball that he just whips in. I think we're going to be seeing Ziyech and Werner doing the business at the end of the season. Love to see Pulisic do it as well, but I just always worry about him with injuries. So I think 2 or 3 players for me for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think just something to add on Chelsea whilst we're there is the fact that many of us will be wildcarded in 31, which does allow a free punt in game week 30, and I think a lot of us will be looking at that Chelsea West Brom home fixture for, if you want to take a gamble on someone like a Ziyech or a Werner. I mean, interestingly, Craig, you didn't mention Mason Mount in your talk there. He's another player that I'm probably considering. And even someone like an Alonso for game week 30, I think could be a good punt if we get indication that he might play, perhaps. So, yeah,
maybe I was keeping those 2 quiet, Dad, because they're the more likely moves. Mounty and Alonso. No, you are right, though, mate. Absolutely right. Mason Mount is probably one of the most shoe-in picks. I think he's probably outside of Mendy and Rudiger, he's probably the third most sensible move, isn't he?
Obviously, we've touched upon it a little bit a few moments ago, but Spurs have got a double in game week 32. Craig, is that changing your thoughts about what you're going to be doing transfer-wise, or possibly even with your wild card in the game week ahead?
Yeah, I guess as I've referenced already when discussing the chip strategy, I'll probably triple up here. I'm going to go a bit aggressive on it. I don't really like Spurs. Certainly not under Mourinho. I just feel that they're a bit hit and miss. We've seen it obviously with Reguilon, who I referenced as well, that I'd like to perhaps bring in on wildcard. He's been rotated a little bit recently. Now I know obviously he's just come back from injury and it could just be a bit of that, but Ben Davies has done quite well at the back there as well. So, I guess they've got to go for it, right? Spurs, they've got nothing else to play for. They've just got to pile in and just, kind of go for it. But, It's a tough one, I think, at the moment to try and work out what I'm going to do here. Obviously, I have the luxury of the free hit, but then I don't want, I'm still going to have to get rid of those assets probably at some point because I don't want them for the run in. Certainly don't want 3. I think Kane's possibly enough with so many other assets out there, and obviously Chelsea's good fixtures, Liverpool's good fixtures. You can't have them all. You kind of basically saying you can definitely have 3 City players. So you start adding them up. There's just not really the luxury to have possibly any more than Kane. So yeah, I'm still eyeing it up, but I think I will play aggressively and probably just have to move them on in game week 34 when I come out of that free hit, at least one of them. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, if they were all fit and they were kind of like all guaranteed to play, I would probably go Reguilon, Son and Kane. I like Reguilon at the back. I think he's really good going forward. I think he's exciting. You might sneak a clean sheet there in the double, plus the the appearance points, and then gets 8, and then he can get attacking returns in bonus. So you could be looking at like a 15+ point score from him. I just worry a little bit about the rotation, so I'll be keeping an eye on it. Because if I feel like he's going to get rotated because it's a quick turnaround in terms of the actual 2 games being played, then I might just go Sonny and Kane and just stick it like that, really. What about you, Dazza?
Yeah, I can't expand on that too much, to be honest, mate. I think you've covered most of it there, and obviously I spoke a little bit about my plan for the Spurs guys earlier on. I think Kane's a must. I think Sonny, if he's fit, he's probably a must as well with those fixtures. And for me, worth keeping an eye on Villa as well. I think they've definitely got at least one double still to come, and they played Liverpool and Man City respectively in 31 and 32. So the switch from the Spurs guys to Villa perhaps in 33 looks quite nice. I think maybe Son to Grealish, worth keeping in the back of the mind when planning.
I'd love to own Grealish transfers. Again. Yeah, Grealish is definitely one to watch for sure. I'd love to own him again. Really is. What was I even saying? Jerry's moving us on.
I'm going to say that unless we're going to tackle Lee Godfrey's one question, we should probably...
we got to go for Lee, haven't we? We got to give Lee his question. We've got to give it to him, haven't we?
All right,
we got any others?
No.
Did we get any?
Right.
Did we get any more on my repost?
Is it?
No.
Did we not get any? Just look at that.
Not a single
Daz
nib.
is laughing. Nothing.
And to be honest, Lee Godfrey's question is basically like who to go for Chelsea. So we've just covered it. I think it's a bit pointless, really.
Yeah.
Just say that then.
Don't
Just
you?
reference that. Say. He's got
think-
the
Is it
one
even
question
worth
tonight.
it? It's not even worth it,
I
is
reckon
it?
just bypass it. It's almost embarrassing.
It's almost embarrassing. Yeah.
Just
I've
pretend
even put it out there. Can't look. Anyone got any questions tonight? Nothing. No one cares.
I'm just going to say we're having because we're doing a short one because we started late, and I'm gonna say that we're
bypass
we're
all
going
the
straight into
questions.
You could say that. You could, Joey. Just say you rush. We've had Craig said that we've all had a nightmare. We've been a bit busy. We rushed out the tweet for questions. We only got one.
Oh no, because that's embarrassing. It's sad.
It's sad.
It's fucking sad.
God.
Oh,
Make a
dear.
note to cut this out.
Any
Come on then.
questions? Fire away. Bong. Bong.
Lee Godfrey though. Lee's always there, isn't he? He's always there.
He loves it.
So, I mean, have you, on a serious note, Lee Godfrey has asked, it's been a long 2 weeks, and has missed the pod, so he's not even fucking listened.
No, he's missed it.
I'm trying to work.
No, he means he's missed it.
Yeah.
Not missed it.
Oh,
He's-
There's
okay.
a void in his life.
There's a void in his life.
Big
so
void in his
poor
big
Lee.
gap. Poor old Lee.
Ah, fucking hell.
Legend, Lee. You're a legend,
Right.
mate. Let's go. Let's do his
Right,
question. What have we
okay.
got?
Fucking hell.
Right, we're going to quickly turn to FPL Twitter community questions. Does that even make sense?
Not
I'm gonna do
not
that
the
again.
plural, Joe. Question.
Yeah. Going to quickly turn our attention to an FPL community question from Twitter, who's from our long-standing... Oh, fuck this shit. Let's just move on. It's fucking...
No, this is the stuff we need to keep in. This
We're
is the
moving
stuff-
on. We're moving on.
I'm
We're moving on. I'm moving us on.
Just say, oh, boys, we've got a question here from
our
Lee.
fucking
Come on.
only listener, Lee Godfrey.
Come on.
He's a legend.
We're skipping on, right?
Just
okay.
read the question, Joe.
Going to move
Just
us on
read
to...
the question.
Fucking... It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless, Craig.
We
We're
already
just
did
wasting
we
time.
already did the intro though, which was funny when we got no
So-
questions. You'll be able to use
so,
that.
okay.
Just say Lee's asked.
Trying
Just
to
say
work out
Lee
which-
has asked. Lee has asked, and then just read the question.
Just trying to work out which Chelsea defender to go for, or even the goalkeeper. He's currently got no Chelsea players. Who would you go for?
Rudiger or Alonso? Daz?
Rudiger.
There he is.
Rudiger, right?
Yeah.
And that was FPL community questions.
Question.
Right.
Oh dear. More to come next week, hopefully. Right, let's go.
I'm going to move us on to four aside, which is going to be equally as epic because you got this week. You've got me
Woo!
representing.
This is your
the,
time to shine,
FPL
Joey.
community.
This is it. He's been waiting
This
for
is
this
my
moment.
Martin
moment.
McCutcheon. This is it.
You've
Right,
benefited
so I'm
from me
gonna lead
dropping the
us
ball
in.
here. Come on then. Can't
Yeah,
believe
well,
we're getting
I've
you
got
involved.
a team. It's going to come.
You've got a
it's gonna
team
come in
already?
response to You, Craig. Yeah,
Should we
I've got
let-
my team ready.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
you
you
can
can pick
guess
anyone,
away.
can't you? The old community.
I can
They've got
pick
the
anyone
old
I want. So
pick of the bunch. Me first. Then.
I'm going to go straight in.
No, you can't read your
Uh,
team out. Oh, go on then. Might as well let us know who it is. Yeah, true. It's not that is the
Well,
format.
I'm not going to do a separate recording of my team, am I? I'm going to do a fucking team. Don't tell us.
Let's just play the music.
Oh. So
Go to the tape.
my random fact is that I'm going for Emi Martinez in goal, 5.4 million against Fulham.
That's not your random fact.
Obviously, lead out goalkeeper in FPL at the moment, so I'm going to be going for him. Into defence, I'm looking at Chelsea assets as you guys have just talked about. So I'm going for Cesar Azpilicueta at 5.8 million,
Waste of money.
and then moving into midfield and attack. So I'm going to really put all of my chips down on Leeds against struggling Sheffield United here. So midfield, I'm going for Rafinha at 5.7. And up front, I'm going for Bamford at 6.7 million, which takes me to a total of £23.6 million. Looking forward to cutting the deficit against Darren and increasing the gap between the FPL community and Craigo.
Right, Joey.
So what do you think, boys? You can give me your reaction to
To
that.
qualify as a guest on this show, you've got to give us your interesting fact, your random fact.
Yeah,
What
you have
is
to
it?
give us a fact, mate. Come on.
My random
Really
fact.
good one. Make it good.
Okay. Make it a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a shit one, I've got a few I could give.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
An interesting fact about me: I have played at St Mary's. I've made 2 appearances at St Mary's, and I've also made an appearance at Dean Court as well. AFC Bournemouth's ground
That's brilliant, mate.
at the Vitality Stadium.
Very good. Very good. Just had to get that in there, didn't you? A little bit of name dropping, basically. Yeah, I've played here, played there. Very good. Very good. Right then. My pick first, is it?
Yeah.
Don't even get a reaction to my team. Fucking hell.
Go on, read it out again.
Template tempo, innit?
Class citizen, eh?
Template tempo again, though, innit? Flipping heck.
Martinez, Aspie, Rafinha, and Bamford.
Very nice. Bamford, yeah, like it. Right, my team. I have to go for it though, and I'm going to go ballsy. I'm going to go Rafinha. My first pick. 5.7 million, home to Sheffield United.
Okay.
Fucking copying me again.
I'm going to go Leeds. Yeah, I'm going to copy you as well. I'm
FPL.
going to go Leeds as well. I'm going to go Bamford. He's flagged
See,
at
that's
the moment. Is that just from his previous knock? He's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, no, it's not from his previous, because obviously he played, so it would have gone off. I think he was, still a little bit ropey, but he'll be all right. He'll be fine. See, that's the play. See, this is the play. The thing was going first, you overthink it. Because now my second pick, actually, I'm not going to say it because obviously I'd have made the mistake again, so I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to go for. You'll see in a minute. You'll see what I've done here. And I don't know if it's clever or if it's just really bloody stupid, and I should have just gone the Bamford route. Anyway, I am going to go for Meslier in goal.
Okay.
Good pick.
He's trying to get Werner in. I'm going to go for Rudiger. 4.7.
Oh, I didn't know whether to go
You're trying to get Werner in.
You're an arse. I'm not happy about that.
Oh my god.
Slumped in my seat. I had good maths there.
I almost can't see the top of your head around that microphone. It's perfectly round.
Under budget. I was under budget, and he's ruined me there with the Rudiger because I thought I'd covered myself nicely. Two Chelsea, 2 Leeds, job done. Home to West Brom, home to Sheffield United, lovely jubbly. He said Rudiger. Daz, you've done me. Oh, mate.
There must be loads of options. 4 points. What about Konsa? Throw Konsa in. 4.7.
No, not interested.
Dirty
in that.
Dallas.
I think Fulham are going to score. I'm not interested in that. Joey Martinez pick absolute garbage. Not interested in that.
We need to start incorporating a little countdown clock here, I think, Joey, because he's taking the piss now.
Yeah.
Right.
What about a little,
hang on. So I could just say both my picks, can't I? Because it doesn't matter. Done, haven't we? We've done the 4 picks. We've done the 4 positions.
You can afford Dallas, can't you? Anyway.
Yes, Dallas. That's exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah, Dallas and Werner. Done.
Dallas and Werner.
Just want to make sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going Mendy and Mason Mount.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I think I prefer yours again.
Very nice, Dan.
Prefer yours
Triple
again,
Chelsea.
Dan. Who you are? Yeah, I'm triple Leeds, aren't I? Triple
Mendy,
Leeds,
Rudiger
Werner.
and Mount. Yeah. No,
I
your
like
picks
that.
are good, mate. That'd be good.
Yeah, it needs a swing, doesn't it? It needs a swing. I mean, it's one of those where you could end up with 20 plus points on me again here, though, couldn't you? It could go either way. I could get the 20 plus, or you could, with those picks. Don't see Sheffield United scoring, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, after an international break, I feel like we could be open to some different weird and wonderful results now. Unexpected things happening.
Very true. Very, very true. So that's done. Nipped it up. Done.
Yeah.
Pod's done. Lovely.
Nipped it up.
30-minute pod. Lovely jubbly. Cheers, boys.
Yeah, have a good game week in game week 30. And let us know your views as well. If you're listening, give us a shout out on Twitter. All feedback welcome. We'd love to hear what you've got to think about the pod. And we look forward to speaking to you again in a week's time. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, cheers, everyone. Cheers, Joey. Cheers, Daz.
See you, mate.